which is technically believed to come from the Aramaic expression, abracadabra, I create as I speak. The first word of the Bible, BERESHIT, has been mistranslated since the first translation into Latin Vulgate by Saint Jerome in the late 4th century. Talking about the Hebrew word, bara. You've probably heard the expression abracadabra, which is technically believed to come from the Aramaic expression, abracadabra, I create as I speak. According to an article in the Israeli daily Haaretz, Ronan Schneidman wrote that the expression abracadabra would be easily understood by Hebrew speakers. We can analyze it from the first verb in Genesis chapter 1, bara, if written in the Qal form. The Yiktol first person singular tense changes to evra. After the word evra, there is the prefix ke, meaning like on the verb, davar, meaning speak. It becomes keduber, meaning as was spoken. The combination evra keduber means I will create as has been spoken. The phrase abracadabra is often used as slang magic in magic shows. For example, a magician waves a wand over his hat, says abracadabra, and 2 doves appear. The phrase is also popular in the fantasy film series Harry Potter, adapted from the novels by J.K. Rowling. However, this expression is not aligned with our Bible because throughout the Bible, the Hebrew word bara, when used in the sense of creation, is a verb specifically attributed to God the Creator, Yehovah Adonai Bor, the Lord the Creator.
In the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. Genesis 1:1.
The first word of the Bible, BERESHIT, has been mistranslated since the first translation into Latin Vulgate by Saint Jerome in the late 4th century. It was also translated into English around 1380 by John Wyclif. What is the issue with this English translation? The problem is that the first word, BERESHIT, has been translated as in the beginning. If its meaning were as such, the first vowel point wouldn't be sheva, but rather qamatz or Patakh, making the word and pronunciation change to BERESHIT. 1. The word BERESHIT is a combination of the preposition ba and reshit, translating to in a beginning. 2. The word BERESHIT or BERESHIT is a combination of the preposition ba and hereshit, thus translating to in the beginning. Therefore, the word BERESHIT in Genesis 1:1 should be translated as in a beginning, rather than in the beginning. BERESHIT means at a or in a beginning, not that specific beginning. This can be accepted logically, because what is written in Genesis 1:1 is not the absolute beginning of everything. God Himself is the beginning of everything.
Thus saith the Lord, the King of Israel, and His Redeemer, the Lord of hosts, I am the first, and I am the last. And beside me there is no God. Isaiah 40:4-6.
Regarding the difference between BERESHIT versus BERESHIT, you might object. The Torah was written without using nikid. So how can we really know how the unpointed Hebrew script should be pronounced? We should understand that the Masoretes, who worked on standardizing the Bible text in the 7th century, added vowels nikid based on an oral tradition that existed for thousands of years before. There are also other reasons why the Sopharim Hebrew scribes knew that this vocalization is correct. That BERESHIT, meaning in a beginning, signifies the origin of the heavens and the earth in relation to humanity on earth. BERESHIT doesn't detail the events of when and how the angels were created. From a timeline perspective, the angels already existed. Therefore, BERESHIT in Genesis 1:1 is not the beginning of an eternal period. The eternal period already existed. and humans cannot rationally comprehend its process since they were created afterward. However, humans can understand that something existed before the creation of the heavens and the earth. Even the angels, including Satan and his followers, the heavenly realm where God reigns, existed before our universe was created. An illustration to explain the meaning of BERESHIT, in a beginning in our Bible, is that God, who has existed since eternity, created the universe. What humans can see, what is within sight, and what technology can reach are all like a glass within God's grasp. God is so immense, beyond the understanding of human knowledge within the limitations of the universe, which is essentially like a glass held in God's fingers. The illustration conveys that God is in a different dimension than humans. He reigns in the dimension of eternity. Within that eternity, God is not alone in heaven. There are angels, heavenly beings, and there is communication there. So, if we read Genesis 1:1 as in a beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. It informs us about the process of creating the earth and its surroundings biblically, as written by Moses within the limited scope of human understanding within the glass dimension. Before the beginning of the sky and the earth, there was a mighty being, and he is God. He exists in a dimension of eternity, different from the physical dimension depicted in the illustration inside the glass. And God created, everything was created by his eternal word. The account of creation events in Genesis 1 only explains the creation of the heavens and the earth, leading to the appearance of Adam and how others, his descendants, populated Adam's world, such as the creation of Eve and the continuation of Adam's descendants. The account of creation events in Genesis 1 does not record a beginning of an eternal period containing the creation of angels. If BERESHIT is interpreted as in a beginning, which does not signify the beginning of an eternal period, but is limited to the beginning of the earth and the universe within the scope of human creation, we can understand the skepticism of atheists who reject the existence of God. Their understanding arises because God is beyond human reach. Before the observable universe we see today, there existed another realm, another dimension that was already there in eternity. Even our scriptures cannot fathom the mind of God. Yet, God graciously introduced himself to humanity through the words conveyed by prophets. And even he came to earth in Jesus Christ. The difference between us and atheists is that we can accept God's statements, and in his word, we believe in him. God incomprehensible, immense, unreachable, yet he allows himself to be known by his created beings.